Welcome to Prompt 1. In this prompt, we're mostly going to focus on color. Color's the thing that attracts so many of us to weaving, and color interactions in weaving are endlessly fascinating. I want you to start with color because I don't want you to get hung up on form quite yet. Simplification is the key to weaving small things in tapestry, and it's so hard to let go of attempting to get all the details into a design. We will talk more about simplification next week, but for now, if you must add forms to your weaving, keep them simple. For this prompt, I'm encouraging you to watch for color. What colors catch your eye? What colors are around that color? You can start very simply and identify the major colors in your environment, perhaps the ones that speak to you the most. You can capture those with a photograph, or if you like to use other art media, you could paint or use markers or colored pencils to help you explore the colors while you're looking at them, or later from a photograph. You might not be able to replicate the colors with paint or colored pencil, and that's fine. The exercise of looking and trying to match them is all about learning to see and in part label something. You're unlikely to have just the right color of yarn anyway. Start with just a few colors. Perhaps you'll concentrate on one or two hues and what tones, tints, or shades of that color are present. For example, how many different pinks are in this bank of roses? Spend a little time wondering about colors around your focus. What colors are the shadows? Are they gray or are they some other color? You do not have to capture all those colors, just notice them. Then make whatever notes you'd like. They can be words, sketches, color swatches, or anything else you can think of. Then look at the yarn colors you have. Do you have hues that will give the feeling of the colors you're looking at? If not, could you achieve something similar by substituting a color? For example, if you have a range of greens and no blues, but the object you're examining is blue, could you use green instead and get the feeling for the value range even if the hue doesn't match? Could I weave these pink flowers with yellow instead if I didn't have pink yarn? What tapestry techniques might you use to blend color? Do you want to keep some colors distinct? Will you do that with stripes or other forms? Or do you want to do some weft bundling or gradation? You can keep this just to color. I quite often will just weave stripes or other color variations about a particular place and not worry about form at all. When I hiked the Colorado Trail, I was fascinated by the many colors of mushrooms. It was a rainy year and they were everywhere. I played around with watercolor to look at the colors, and then I wove simple stripes with what colors I had. A few weeks ago, I was clipping some roses from the bushes in the backyard and marveling at the colors of these flowers that keep coming back year after year despite my benign neglect. I decided to do a couple tapestries about these roses. I sketched an idea in my notebook, and I actually didn't have any color on it before I wove the tapestry. I was at home, so I was able to find yarn colors of Weaver's Bazaar that matched fairly well, the 3 rose colors and a few different greens. I wanted the rose colors to stand on their own, and I wove those in blocks below. They are the fewest of the darkest pink, so that block was smallest. Then pink, then white. Above that, I wove waves of green and decided to weave an eccentric dividing line using the pinks. I even added some pink French knots at the end, and I never embroider on my tapestries. A French knot just seemed like the same shape as a rose. The second tapestry was even simpler. I wanted to spend a little time spinning while watching the day fade on the back deck. I had fleece colors that were similar to the roses and their leaves, and I spun them into one long strand and then wove it just as it came. I loved this tapestry the best, probably because I enjoyed making it so much. So what are you actually going to do? To start with, download the handout for this prompt because it gives you a few other tips that I haven't talked about in this video. From there, you just have 3 basic things to do. The first is take some time to wander around and enjoy your surroundings. I'd say at least 15 minutes, but much longer is best, if possible. The second thing is start looking at color. Find something that interests you because of the color and observe more closely. You can make notes in your notebook, take a photo, or just study and remember. The third thing is to weave something. Weave some variation of those colors either in the field or when you get home again. If you're carrying your materials with you, it can be really fun to weave while you look at your inspiration.